Welcome back. Is college too expensive? Yeah, of course it is. It didn't used to be this expensive. Back in the 60s, it would be a couple $100 for a semester and you could go to a state school. Late 70s, early 80s, you could work a minimum wage job and that would pay a semester at a Big Ten institution, maybe even a whole year. Nowadays, that's not going to happen. Some of the most expensive colleges for students are places like the University of Chicago. It's over $75,000 a year, especially if you're a student who is coming from another country and wants to take a college education in the United States as well. The cost is astronomical. Why? There are a few reasons for that. The cost of college in the last few decades has risen, partly because funding on the part of states and the federal government has declined. The percentages at which governments used to fund college in the United States has decreased. They don't fund it as much as they used to in terms of percentages. Things like rising inflation, certainly income's not necessarily meeting this. For students, tuition costs, because of this lack of fund, have gone up. What colleges, and this is really the other thing, what we value or think of as the college experience or what college is has also changed. Largely in the 40s and 50s and early 60s and into the 70s, much of this was around singularly the experience of taking your classes, right? The education coming singularly through the classroom, and that is largely it. In recent decades, the experience or the idea of what is college, what is the experience, has changed, right? College needs to be more holistic. It needs to offer more and have more programming and options for students, be they fun, activity, kind of student life things, or otherwise. Those things cost money. Salaries, etc. All of that costs money. The transformation of who works at a college, right? Administrators, faculty members, staff, all of that. That has transformed what we think of college as being. College is expensive, but state debt or lack of funding and things like tuitions are a huge part of why this is. Part of our understanding this week is to look at a few articles to try to understand the many factors that have led to the cost of college rising in the United States. Now, the U.S. educational model in higher education is different than other Western nations and other nations around the world. Other nations fully fund or provide partial funding for students, and of course we can have a separate discussion about federal student aid and private aid and other kinds of aid that exist as well. But generally the idea is there are many factors as to why the cost of college in the 21st century has risen exponentially. And it's important for us to understand that when it comes to transferring, because what are we interested in? What are we majoring in? When we graduate, are we looking specifically to get a job? And what kind of salary is that good job going to pay? And what chance do we have of being able to pay off the money that we've borrowed in order to be able to attend that institution? These are all things that need to be factored into your decision process. Thanks so much.